welcome to this news edition. The citizens of Port-au-Prince downplayed Fitzwilliam Michel's ratification in the lower house, arguing that the authorities are passive in the face of the deterioration of the country's overall situation. The crisis has continued, and the ratification of Mr. Michel comes a few days before the departure on vacation of the members of the 58th legislature. These citizens are deprived. For them, the arrival of Mr. Michel, if approved by the Senate, will not bring significant changes to the dark socio-political and economic reality. These inhabitants of the capital continue to swear by the departure of the President of the Republic. According to them, Jovenel Moïse has not respected his commitments to improve their living conditions. The author, Gary Victor, urges the authorities to take steps to improve the country's overall situation. Mr. Victor said that the country is facing all kinds of difficulties to the chagrin of its leaders. Gary Victor, angry, called the President of the Republic an imposter. He calls for the citizens' mobilization to change the situation. He was the guest of Television Pacific this morning. In addition, Gary Victor encourages potential voters to go to the polls in the future elections to designate responsible and competent personalities to occupy the spheres of power. The indifference of the electorate has helped to push us into the abyss, leaving the field open to the incompetent, notes Gary Victor. The petroleum carriers resumed service on Wednesday. They learned after their walkout to demand the strengthening of the security situation at the southern entrance of the capital. Furthermore, on Tuesday, they met with the Central Director of the Administrative Police and the General Director of the Monetary Office of the Development Assistance Program, BMPAD. Around their demands, the latter had promised them that agents of the National Police will be deployed in points deemed sensitive, including Martissa and the Bicentenaire. The fuel shortage once again affected public transit in the Port-au-Prince metropolitan area. In some places, burning used tires were noticed, and long queues of consumers were also noticed in the service stations. Parents of students continue to denounce the delay in the process of subsidies for school books by the Ministry of Education. They criticize the government for using publishing houses that still do not respect their contracts. In addition, these parents doubt their ability to respect the date of September 9th, held back for back to school. The sharpness of the economic crisis does not lend itself to it, they say. Abroad in Brazil, the equivalent of more than 4 million acres destroyed in August in the Amazon. The figures put forward by the Brazilian media are scary. In fact, just last August 30th, fires broke out in the Amazon 3 times more than what was recorded last year at the same time, with 10,421 reports global. In total, the areas destroyed by the fires in August 2019 represent an area of 29,944 kilometers square, the equivalent of 4.2 million acres of land, according to the data provided by the Brazilian Institute of Space Research, INPE. These figures covers the entire Amazonian territory, 5.5 million kilometers square, of which 4.19 million for the sole Brazilian soil. In Hong Kong, the head of the executive announced on Wednesday the outright withdrawal of the draft law on extradition to China. This controversial text was the trigger for the protest that has been stirring the territory since June. To make this announcement, Carrie Lam adopted a more conciliatory tone than during her last speeches. She says she's open to dialogue while calling for the end of the violence. Whatever the dissatisfaction of the population with the government or the society, the violence does not mix it possible to solve the problems. Our top priority now is to end the violence, preserve the rule of law, and restore order and security in the society. The government will crack down on violence and illegal actions. It must be said that the demands of the protesters have today largely exceeded the simple withdrawal of this text on extraditions. That's all the news for now. Thank you for watching. And if you would like to rewatch this news edition, you may do so at Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and RadioTelePacific.com. You may also watch it on cable channel 384 for the Nassau Bahamas Island. And from all of us at Info Pacific, have a great night.